Hey, page 52 in Bnei Machshava Tova. The last beautiful piece we saw from the Piasetnza had to do with consistency. Something that, not the smoothest, not the easiest thing to really stick to. Mamash consistency. We were learning that whatever it is that the Piasetnza is telling us, whatever it is that we do take upon ourselves to learn, that we stick with it. And that even if, or whatever it is, not just with learning, like he was pointing us back earlier in the Sefer. Whatever it is, whatever it is we took upon ourselves on any level, that for us, by falling, to treat it as if mamash we did something really, really bad to ourselves. Now again, this group, Bnei Machshava Tova, he's not speaking about everybody. And later we're going to see, even mamash, we're towards the end of the Sefer, we're going to be reminded as to the fact that this Sefer and the Klalim here, mamash are not for everybody. It's for people that really want to be part of a chabura, of this chabura, that the Piasetnza HaKadosh formed. But what he wants us to do is to train ourselves to treat that which we chose to be Kodesh Kodashim. That's really what's happening here. The Piasetnza wants us to go into our koach habchira, into stuff that we've made important to us, and treat it mamish like hekdesh. To treat it like it's something that there's no way we could live without. For example, the Piasetnza Rebbe told us a long time ago, if there's a certain, remember, 2 pieces of meat, and 1 piece of meat, you say, this I'm not going to touch for whatever the reason is, and then you end up touching that juicier piece of meat, or whatever, a bigger piece of meat. So for you, like we said the other day, that's got to be like you're eating chazer. It's got to be that you feel that it's mamash like doing something tremendously, tremendously harmful to your being. Because he wants us to really feel connected to our koach habchira. And he wants us to really appreciate, and I would say even how would you say, to stand behind, root for ourselves and cheer ourselves behind every choice that we make when it comes to Kedusha. And one of the things that Rabbi was speaking about specifically was that you have to make sure that not one day passes without learning. Like the beginning of the siman that we did on Sunday. Lo yavo alecha yom belo Torah. That's what he said in Otet. That not one day should pass without you learning. Now what does that mean? Based on what we just said right now. Whatever it is that you have chosen to say, this is my learning ethic, this is the way, this is what I'm going to learn, every single day it's got to happen. Consistency. We all know, everyone in this room, that we've started so many Sfarim and so many Masechtas. If we would have made siyums on all the books and Sfarim Masechtas we started, we would have all finished Shas about 25,000 times. I probably would have finished Shas like 20,000 times. If I would have finished the Masechtas that I started learning. Right? So there's something, what happens to a man when he sees that you go through something and you accomplish it? You say, it isn't just, wow, look at me. You get a sense of inside, I can trust my machshavas. I could trust my decision making. Someone came up to me in shul Friday night. He said, I have to ask you a very hard question. So I'm thinking, oh boy, it's going to be one of these Pesach ones that you have to pretend that you know what the person's talking about, even though you have no idea what they're talking about, and they have to call every Rav you know and Google search every kind of reference to this kind of question. He's like, how does a person become happy with their decisions? That's what the person asked me. And I thought he was talking like about to get married or something. It had to do with something in learning, deciding to learn a certain something. That's where the person was holding. So wow. A question like this, like Levad on its own, brings so much nachas to Hashem. How does a person become happy with his choice of learning and learning Torah? Gewalt. Unbelievable. So now what we're doing today is after the Piasetnza told us that Lo yavor alecha yom belo Torah, that you have to have Torah mamash be part of every single one of your days, he's going to tell us, he's going to tell the Chabura that he was with, that he was forming, what that means. So this is one of these mornings where we're going to be learning. We're going to be like, wait a second, I thought he was talking to me the whole time. There's no way he's talking to me now also. But let's see what happens. You never know. Page 52, Ot Yud Aleph. Tilmod Tanakh. How's that so far? Jeremy? Okay. Mishnayot, Gemara, Zohar HaKodesh, Midrash, Ubeikar, Asher Bechol, these are the Ikar things one person should learn. Asher Bechol Ot Mehem Nimtza Eshel Mala. In every single letter of the Sfarim that I just mentioned, there is fire from above. Lechalot et asitra achra hasovevet otcha umitgara becha. And the fire that's in every letter of the Sfarim that he just mentioned will come and consume and banish the dark side, the other side that surrounds you and seduces you and drives you crazy. He didn't say here, go to the Himalayas and meditate for 5 months, and that's the way you'll get rid of the things that drive us nuts. The Sitra Achra is saying in the learning itself. In learning itself. You know, if we learned with this kind of consciousness when we were younger, that what we're doing right now is not just something that Hashem says and this is the right thing to do, but that what it does is that it banishes the fire. Mamish, it's a fire that pushes away all the bilbulim that a person has. Fire. Now, why do you think he's saying this now? Like, how is this possible? That by learning, what did he say here? Learning Tanakh, Mishnayos, and Gemara, Zohar, Kodesh, and Midrash, that a person's Sitra Achra becomes vanished and pushed away. How could it be?
It takes a lot of time to learn all those things every day. I mean, from a practical perspective, when you don't have something to do, is when all that weird stuff starts coming into you. I mean, that's a bunch of hours of learning.
That's one way of looking at it, yeah.
I think like there's a concept of like, we're talking about going to the Himalayas. People go there to try to empty themselves out. Right, to just get everything out. And he's talking about
filling up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fill yourself up, because all you're doing by emptying yourself out is you're now just this vessel waiting to be filled. Right. And the Yetzer Hara can come and fill that up very quickly. Yeah. But if you keep it overflowing with Machshavas Kedoshos, words of Torah and what he just laid out, there's no room for anything else. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So busy.
Yeah. I got to tell you guys, my wife and I went away the week before our first child was born. So everyone said to us, okay, you got to go away. You got to go away for the night. You got to go and, have that last time that you go to somewhere, even though when you're living alone in an apartment, it's kind of like a spa or like a hotel anyway. Like, who's bothering you anyway, right? So we did that. We went to some certain spa somewhere up north, and I'm not kidding. We were there, we're with Simcha, giggling, oh my God, we're going to be parents next week. How wacky, how weird. And then the place was packed with all these people that were very, 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 how would you say, bothered by being forced to feel like they're enjoying themselves. Does that make any sense? Like the place was packed with people reading self-help books, but all like, drinking teas because that's what you do, that's what you have to do, and while they're there at this resort, the last thing they were doing was resorting. The last thing they were doing was Menuchas HaNefesh, it was more like, this is supposed to be working. I'm supposed to, right? You know what I mean? Bina and I were, all the meal, we were laughing, all the meals. Even while people were waiting online to get a massage, you could see, okay, this is supposed to be something that is enjoyable, and I get my energy back, and bad thoughts will go away. Please. Please, it's not, it's shtuyot. Yeah, we were there giggling, smile. Just, it was so funny. These are all very wealthy, productive businessmen and women. You know, it wasn't schleppers. Umi shetarud b'madregato. Third line. Ubiyom echad lo yuchal lilmod et kol hanal. But someone that's bothered, he's troubled at the stage that where he's at, and in one day he can't learn everything we just said before. Yichalkem liyemei hashavua. Then divide it up during the week. Lamashal, Daled yamim b'shavua yilmad gemara, Shte yamim b'shavua yilmad midrash. Then 4 days during the week you should learn Gemara, and 2 days during the week you should learn midrash. You have to understand that to the world and to the people that he was talking to, saying something like this was like telling them, you don't have to learn for a month. In our standards, by telling them you should learn Gemara 4 days a week, and not every day. And 2 days midrash. That's like telling someone on the level of you should machal al Shabbos almost. You know what I mean? Like on the level of how far fetched it was for a Hasidic Rebbe to tell someone that this is the type of menu of learning they could have. Again, we have to put things into perspective. It's completely far out and radical.
Is midrash kol musar and everything else? Is it or
no?
Midrash?
The midrash. Yeah, mamash. What do you think? So you have to understand, that's like, it's a complete chiddush here. It's something, it's very, very, very innovative to think and talk like this, mamash. Now the Rebbe continues like this. Tilmad sifrei chasidut. Learn books of chasidut as well. Kegon shla. Does anyone know who the shla was? The Shnei Luchot HaBrit. Rabbi Yishayahu Horowitz. By the way, when we were learning Tanya, in the Hakdama for the Tanya, it says that this book is based on different Sfarim and Sofrim, and we learned that one of the books that the Tanya is basically based on is the Shla HaKadosh. The Shla, we have it by our Shabbos table. I used to learn every Friday night, look at it every Friday night. I haven't done it in a while. But what I love about it is that he takes all the mitzvahs that are in every single parsha and lets us know which mitzvahs from the 613 show up in our parsha. To learn the parsha like that. Beautiful. So learn the Shla, Sifrei Maharal, learn the Maharal. Sifrei HaChasidim HaRishonim, learn the books of the first Chasidim, Kegon Shel HaMagid HaGadol Zatzal, we were by the Magid of Misrich, who's buried in Annapolis. V'Noam Elimelech. I don't know what this is, this thing over here. Yeah. I have to look at the translation. Oh, is it? You know, I have it here. Doesn't mention it. The Magid of Koznitz. Imre v'divrei Elimelech. Beis Aaron. That's Karlin. V'afilu im yeshnam dvarim she'en ata mevinam. And even if there's things from what we mentioned that you just don't understand, Al tanach yadcha mehem. Don't just say, I don't understand it, so forget it. Kevan she'al kol panim, et darkam derech hakodesh, derech hasidut shebehem, ata mevin kefi yechaltecha. This is very, very important. He's saying, the way that you think you don't understand something, that just might be in comparison to the way you're normally trained to know if you understand something or not. But really, you know, your soul knows, has a way to understand certain things that intellectually you think you don't understand and you don't grasp. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. You're getting more than you realize.
Much more. But what ends up happening when we don't get it the way we think we need to get it? I push the whole thing away. It's not me.
Could it ever be that we don't, mamish intellectually don't get it at all, and our soul gets it? Or is it just different levels?
Absolutely, that could be, but he's not. He's going to say that in a second. But that he's not saying that yet. What he's saying now is he's saying, When you read something and you're learning it, and you think you don't understand it, it's the way that you think you don't understand something in comparison to the way that you learn other texts and other things. But really, you are getting something, even on some intellectual intelligence level. But now he goes to what you just said. V'chutz mizeh, divrehem be'atzmam, v'ruach kodsham shebahem yidabku becha. When you pick up a sefer of the Kedushas Levi, you don't understand what he's saying. His Ruach HaKodesh that came through composing this sefer, it sticks to you. It clings to you. If that's what's around you, and that's why the Rebbes were always big. Make sure you have this sefer in your house. You know, when women are in labor, there's an Indian put a Noam Elimelech underneath the pillow. You ever hear that? Why? You think she's going to understand? She's going to have time to open up the Noam Elimelech? Well, in between pushes, 1 second, the Tzaddik Elyon said, no, obviously not, but we know that there's a Ruach HaKodesh that comes and escorts the words that were composed, and it comes with the Sfarim as well. That's why it's very, very important to be around Sfarim, to walk with Sfarim, have Sfarim with you all the time, in your home, to have a lot of Sfarim. Again, be tonight that you don't let it depress the daylights out of you, that every time you walk by your library, you say, man, there's an Efes on me. Look, another book that I haven't looked at. This is just for show, No. I'll get there one day. And until I get there, I know there's Ruach HaKodesh that came through with these words. That's a level 2. V'titaher. This helps a person come purified. Tilmad gam, he says a very interesting statement here. Tilmad gam me'at sifrei HaKabbalah. Also, dabble into the books of Kabbalah.
Said Zohar HaKadosh before.
Huh?
Said Zohar HaKadosh before.
Yeah, so what is Sifrei HaKabbalah?
The Behir.
There's plenty more. There's the Arizal, Sfarim, Talmud Eser HaSfirot. There's plenty of Kabbalistic works. He's saying, dabble into this. Why? Shal kol panim lo tiyeh behem bur ve'am haaretz legamre. How do you explain that? Shelo tiyeh behem bur ve'am haaretz legamre. He's saying, what's a bur ve'am haaretz? How do you say that in simple? Ignoramus. So they don't be completely ignoramus in it. Make sure at least you have some kind of shaykhus to it. A sefer Shefa Tal Tov Lecha. The book Shefa Tal is good for you. I'm just thinking about us when we went to that levaya of Reb Mickey Mark, Hashem Yikom Damo, and Reb Mickey Mark, the Yid from the holy Yid from Otniel, father of 10, who was gunned down on Erev Shabbos. So Jeremy and I knew him. Jeremy learned in the yeshiva where was he working there when you were there? He was the menahel. He was the menahel of a yeshiva that I was teaching at, Torah Shraga. And I didn't know this in his lifetime, but he had mamish, a real seder in Kisvei Arizal. In the writings of the Arizal, I think every day he would delve into the Kisvei Arizal. Like, what is he saying over here? You have to have some kind of these are Sfarim, yes, it's for the big ones, it's high stuff and this and that, but it's there for us. You have to have some kind of acquaintancy with them, some level. That's why Rabbi Nachman says, you have to learn all the Sfarim there are, so that you don't feel like a stranger in any one of the Sfarim. So he's just mentioning this. So this is a little bit of a Piasetnza menu of learning. But now, we go back to making sure that we understand why he just filled up our day the way that he did. Okay? Now look what he says. This is really, really, really special and important and something to daven over and cry over. HY'D Bet, page 53. And again, there's no chidushim here in terms of the sefer. He's repeating now in a certain way, like the guidelines as to how to approach everything we learned in this wonderful little book. Sefer. That's not a book, it's a sefer. Me'od, me'od, heveh zahir shelo telech batel af rega. You have to really, really be careful and make sure that you don't waste any time. I think there's a Kotzker Torah, I think it says, Lo tirtzach means killing time. You ever hear that concept? Killing time? You kill time? I have to kill some time right now. So you should treat that like a very, very, it's a very, very scary thing. Killing time. We don't kill time. We mekadesh zman. Ha-mekadesh Yisrael v'azmanim. We sanctify time. Just be very careful. No batala of your day. Not even for a moment. Kfi shenirsham beseder emtzaim otet zayin. Like we mentioned a few pages before. 10 רגעים של בטלה יהיה בעיניך כעבירה חמורה רחמנא ליצלן. 10 moments of batala for you, it should feel like, name me right now a nasty avera. Just for the sake of it. Just for the fun. I'm talking to Yidden that are Erev Pesach, so pure, so clean. You can't even think of one nasty avera, huh?
Eating at a non-Badat's restaurant.
I said a nasty.
That's a special.
Ashkachapati restaurant.
Chas v'shalom, cursing out your father. Oy, right? He's saying, our goal here is to create the kind of Yid that would feel like that when he realizes that he wasted his morning.
This is the first time I feel like he's not talking to us anymore. You'd Aleph and you'd bet. With 10 regaim, man, he knows our generation. And also, I find the Hasidim, maybe we have to translate this today. Mishnayim, Kumar, Zohar, Kosh, Midrash, Bika.
That's what I'm saying. For us, right? Again, we're not. This is not 1928 Poland. We're not in Warsaw. We didn't grow up like this.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do with this sefer is to take the fundamental approach of the type of yid that he's trying to bring into Chabura.
That's fine.
It could be something for us. 10 minutes of batala. He's not saying over here, if you have 10 minutes that you're not learning, it's like an avera chamura. He said 10 minutes of batala. Of batala. What is that? What does batala mean?
Even walking.
Huh?
Even walking.
Working is not batala.
No, yes. Even walking is not batala. Not just learning Tova.
Exactly. That's the point here. He's saying you go for a walk for 3 hours to clear your mind. Look at the world. Ask yourself deep questions. You think he's going to count that as batala? No way. No way. But what is batala?
Boring.
Roaming around.
You. This can be the master of batala. The medium through which right now we are learning through many people has the sitra achra with it. In our generation, the batala, are you kidding me? It's not saying if you need to take a break and just listen to a good tune it's not saying that's batala. He means when you're when you're killing time. That's what he's referring to. So is he talking to us?
Yeah, he's talking to us. I just want to know what our diet, what is our bit today? Like when he's talking about learn this and that, and Noma and all these other things, which is like, you read that and you're just like, your heart fails. And the exact opposite happens.
Don't you think if you attach it to the paragraph before, where he said, decide what you're going to do and then do it. So if you say, look, okay, so he says Talmud, he says Gemara, Mishnah, he says Tanakh. So I'm going to commit that I have these books on my shelf. They're going to sit there. Every day I'm going to open it. I'm going to read one sentence. That's it. One sentence from each time. That's all I can commit to. That's what I'm doing. And that through that, you're planting the seed of
also
that
for more.
growth.
That also grew. Then you have space to say, I could also, I could do more.
Or you catch a sentence that's curious, and you're like, all of a sudden you've been there for 30 minutes finding it. But to say, he's not, I don't think he's saying like, okay, now I just gave you 18 hours Seder. Right? He said, decide what you're going to do. These are the books, and do it.
This whole sefer is to better get to know your true self. And then you start making commitments to your true self. It doesn't feel good when you don't follow through on those.
Right.
It's for you for real. It's not like everybody can commit on a theoretical level. But when you do it to yourself, and that's what he's, I think, saying.
That's where he's driving us to. Absolutely. And so you have to, it's good what we're doing. You have to translate it to what it is to us. But we're also learning this as if this is what he told them. This is what he told them, because for them, again, for them to learn Gemara 4 days a week and 2 days a week Midrash, that's like for us, literally telling us, listen, learn just 20 minutes in the morning. Understand that's the level of what it was like back then. All right? All right, let's go forward. So he said this very stark line over here. Asara ragaim shel batala yeh be'enecha kavera chamura, rachmana litzlan, be'ad batala ata meshalem b'chayecha. But you're paying for you with your life through batala, through wasting time, through bumming around. Ki azman shebitalta chelek shel shnot chayecha haya chalaf ve'avar. Because this certain little bit of time that you just wasted is time in your life that came and passed and will never ever come back. That's why, by the way, in the Tanya, the Alter Rebbe goes off on this whole concept of missing zmanim of Kriyat Shema. Why is the missing zmanim of Kriyat Shema something that's so heavy? It's because, you might be able to do tashlumim for a shachris, but this zman of Kriyat Shema will never ever come back. It's a moment in time that was designated for us to mekadesh, and that opportunity will never ever come back. But I want us to learn this, not in like a downer way of saying like, oh my God, how much time have I wasted? But rather, look how much time I haven't wasted. Look how many mornings I've shown up here to try to sanctify time. That's how we have to learn this, not the other way.
Why? Maybe some.
Otherwise, you'll run out of here. You'll never want to. You think that's the point?
I think maybe there are some people that should learn it that way.
Could be, but I don't think here. Because I think that here, the way we have to, because I can't imagine someone that would look at that and then look at how much time that he wasted and actually still feel good about himself today.
He wants us not to judge our thoughts. And just be present. He's saying if you're always
aware,
present and aware, conscious community, you're not going to want to waste time because you're really in the moment.
I mean, I could try it with you right now, Ari. If right now we did like this group therapy session where it was just me and you, and what came out was we actually wrote up how much time was mevutal by you this last 2 weeks. And we came up with a certain number, whatever it was. Right? How would you feel about that?
Embarrassed, ashamed.
Right, that's the point that the Piasetnza Rebbe wants us to. But I'm sure, and I'm trying to show you that's not the way that we want to. We don't want to learn. We don't want to grow, or we don't want to choose a path that'll make us indulge in those feelings, because then we judge ourselves.
But don't you think
but could he be doing hashpala and then saying, now here's the hope, but without feeling that dejection and the shame and humiliation? And he then offers hope about how you could look at it l'hamshech, but I think there's a place for that.
Listen, the individual knows hopefully what's best for them. On a personal level, bevadai, you have to go there in that place. On a collective level, it's very hard to say we should all right now go that other shita. On a personal,
to do with where you're holding right now. If you're holding, like, I'll use business as an example. If you're strong in your business now and you're doing what it is, and you look back and you're like, man, if I would have applied myself 25 years ago the way that I do today, it would have been so different. And so, but I know I'm there today, and I know that looking at that, I don't want the next 25 years to be like that, so I'm going to continue to apply myself. So I think it also, but if I was doing not well in business and having all kinds of trouble there, and I look back and I'm like, I haven't done well, I'm not doing well, then I could see how that shame game comes in and takes hold. So I think it's really part of like what Dov said, this idea of being present and this idea of really self-analyzing where you're at. It gives you a different tool to look at the past and how that translates to the future based on where you're at, and not allowing that to dictate.
Please God.
We always start by thanking Hashem for where we are right now, and then we thank Him for the past, and then the future.
Okay, now one more thing. He's going to go with the concept of time. It's something we did before. Yaskirlo, we're in the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yaskir, this he told us, we did that whole visualization of our own funeral. Remember that one? Yaskirlo yom hamita, hayom be'azman met. Remind himself of when the game is over, when the lights are out in this world. Remind yourself of your day of death, and the time is suddenly dead. And when you're being schlepped into your grave, the soul is still alive, and you realize, I can't get to that thing I said I would get to anymore. I can't make amends with that person that I said I would make amends with. Because it's over. I can't end up learning that sefer that was on that shelf that I wanted to. Right? There will be a time like that, where the body is not here, but the soul is very much alive, and realizes I can't do all those things that I wanted to do while I was still in this world. What do you want to say, Yeshua?
I was thinking about this particular meditation because I used it on Sunday and it was really helpful for me. It just gives a sense of urgency.
Urgency, yeah. But urgency to do what? To get everything done? No, to start learning how to live with your commitments.
Yeah, like an urgency to also like, hey, listen, like we can postpone some
Prioritize, like what's really important, what's not important.
Yeah. Or we can like show up today.
Right.
Like instead of saying, oh, I'll show up tomorrow.
Right.
Be present, take advantage. That's why, like, you get an opportunity. You could do that thing tomorrow, but it won't be the opportunity that you have in that moment.
Right.
It's not the same opportunity. It might seem like it's the same. No.
ביטלת איזה זמן, you wasted time, יהיה בעיניך שחתכת חתיכה מלבך והשלחתו לפני הכלבים. Wow. This is crazy. Simon, do you understand what he just said?
Yeah.
You wasted a little bit of time. Imagine that you basically cut out a piece of your heart and put it in front of dogs. You know. בשעה שאי אפשר לך ללמוד, חשוב בתורה. And okay, so when you can't learn, think in Torah, והדרכה, וחסידות. Meaning, have your mind be there. Think of these concepts. You can't sit in front of a book and learn. Think about it. Think about it.
Why dafka that visualization, that analogy? I remember the Tupim, and that
Right.
I understood that.
Right.
But this is just very dramatic.
Yeah, very dramatic.
Keep in mind,
Why dafka is that a fitting visualization or analogy for wasting time? Throwing your heart in front of dogs.
You'd have to
I love
ask
it.
him.
I
I don't know why he chose. Why he
I think he's
chooses the way he
saying, like,
chose.
you're still here. You're still part of this chabura. I was really gentle. I gave you all these, like, this is.
I was giving you hugs.
Here's the how. And you want to get real? Here we
Yeah,
go.
I was hugging
You're
you.
going to remember later on.
Yeah,
He saved all this
And
stuff.
you've got a
which
few
is
minutes
more
and you're not
for
doing
you.
something, you're going to remember,
Yeah.
cutting out some of my heart and giving it to the dogs. That's
Yeah,
stick with you the rest of the day. And the
Like-
rest of the time.
Like when dogs, they're very vicious when going after the meat. So it's like, and you're seeing this.
right.
So it's very powerful.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
Why is that? Because there's a certain, I know when I'm watching, let's say, YouTube NBA games on my iPhone, there's a certain taiva that to do that, even though it's total mind-numbing nonsense. There's like a taiva, and he's like, this is a real war that's happening, or like vicious taiva that's working against you. Be aware of that. I think there's something to it.
yeah.
Plus, it's like the dog, like what you said, that if you've ever had a dog and you give him, like, every now and then I'll take like something from Shabbos, like a piece of chicken, and
Right.
like, all right, Donnie, you're getting the Shabbos treat, and it's like you give it to him, you're like, he just like, and I'm like, you didn't even smell it. Like, you should have enjoyed that a little bit. And so, like, this idea that it's like, it's not even as if the dog is going to enjoy it. It's just going to totally consume it, and just like, it means nothing to them. Means not. So when you give a piece of your heart, it's not even as if you're giving your heart to something
And
that
it wants more immediately.
likes it. It's
Yeah.
just going to consume it and desire more and become angry.
He's also writing this at that time when you think about dogs, you're talking about the Nazis. Right? That's to go to another. I mean, you're not talking about your little, the cute dog that we have. He's talking about vicious
German
dogs.
Shepherds.
Yeah. Could be. So he says again, בשעה שאי אפשר לך ללמוד, חשוב בתורה. At a time that you can't really learn, think in Torah, הדרכה וחסידות. אף בשעת חזרת התפילה, especially during חזרת השעת, when you're davening, אם אין מחשבתך כולה שקועה בחזרת השעת, if your mind isn't completely absorbed in the brachas that the Chazan is saying.
People are like this. They don't stay focused on.
Oh, this is not. this is a big one.
That's why they have their phones with the Torah on it.
Right. That's what they're looking at during Chazar
That's
Hashat.
why
I didn't know. I thought they were. I thought they weren't. I thought they were looking at something else. Thank you. They're looking at the Kavanah. They're looking at Torah on their phones during Chazar Shas. You're really like a Zamra kind of Jew, like a Limud Zchut Jew. That's beautiful. Your son will get a lot of nachas from you. Im lo תבטלך המחשבה מלשמוע ולענות ברוך הוא ברוך שמו amen. He's saying, think of Torah, think of something mindful, even while that Chazarat Hashat is happening, and you can't focus on every single bracha. But he's saying, if it's, the batala is going to drive you to even forget to say Baruch Hu, Baruch Shema, and Amen. So stay in the game. Stay in the game. You don't have to be driving, but stay in the game. Stay in the game with your thoughts. Mikol shekin b'sha'a she'ata olech. Now this is a really important one. This is how he ends off here. Mikol shekin b'sha'a she'ata olech b'shuk, while you're walking through the marketplace, and that's really, he means the world, right? The world, the corridor in the firm, the world. Tiyeh machshavcha v'libcha kvuim be'ezeh dvar Torah kanal. Your thoughts and heart should be kavua, consistent with a certain Torah thought. Now this is an incredible thing. Have you ever tried the following? You know, today you're going to have a long day. Today, bichla, mamash, Erev Pesach, errands, and shopping, phone calls, cleaning, preparing, whatever it is. Can you sit for yourself today and say, today, no matter what I'm doing, there's a certain vort that I want to be thinking about all day long, from different angles. Wrap your head around it. You're not going to be the guy you're not going to learn today for 8 hours. You're not going to learn for 3 hours. But he's saying, can you invite a certain image, a certain character in the Torah, in the Tanakh, one of the kings of Israel, one of the peasants, whoever it is, and that be in your mind and heart. Try all day long to have that. That's what we're talking about over here. All right? כי חוץ מזה שתחזק בזה את מחשבתך לקדושה, שהיא עיקר תכלית חברתנו הקדושה. He says, besides the fact that by doing this, you will strengthen your mind for holiness, which is the purpose of our holy chabura. He says, besides that, which is hopefully will be a result of such a practice, remember something else is happening too. Af, the last few words here. Af tinatzel baze gam mikol davar ra chas v'shalom. You'll also be saved and protected from any bad thing that can come and infiltrate into your mind and cause you mamash damage. 2 things happen. One is that you're strengthening yourself. You're learning how to mamash strengthen your mind. Wow, there's an amazing. But while you're doing that, you're really bringing in that energy of the Eish, of the fire from Mala, which comes and banishes away all the Sitra Achra that comes and says, oh, there's an empty mind that's full of, or there's a mind that's confused, there's a mind full of empty thoughts now, there's a person that's going to judge himself based on what he's going to feel about himself. I'm going to go right in there. So Piasetnza says, we know that's what happens to people. Self-persecution. We know this happens. It's a horrendous fire, a damaging fire. We use the other midah of fire, the fire of Torah, the fire of the holy words, to come and say dafka in those moments of batala, where I'm going to the market now. I'm not wasting my time, but really you're walking, and then boom, the thoughts come inside. Go back, wrap yourself around that one Torah thought you began the day with, that one character from the Tanakh that you wrapped. Like today, I already know that. Like I saw a vort this morning. I want to think about this all day long, whatever it is. But in order to do that, you have to learn something. That's how it ties in together. In order to be able to carry some kind of a thought with you throughout the day, there's got to be something that you've seen and that you've learned inside, and that's why they complement each other. These both aspects. But be conscious, the Rebbe is saying, that while you engage in that type of a practice, you don't even realize how much you're protecting yourself. And that's the ikar to remember over here. That's the ikar to remember. So we should have a really productive day. If we could implement this into this today, we got a lot going for ourselves. And very, very strong stuff. So again, I hope that we see that when he talks about batala, about the wasting of time, and as well as with the first piece we did about all the things that we should learn, listen, just because my Gemara turned me off so much in high school because the manner in which it was taught to me, maybe the new me, the Bnei Machshava Tova me, can go back into Gemara and look at it as something I would love to bring back into my life.
And join the Lichter.
The Lichterwelt, Mondays and Wednesdays. And for that to be a thing that I'm thinking about in my head during the day, do you know what the highest simcha HY'D has? When late at night, right? The guy is learning twice a week for an hour Gemara, but late at night, he's wondering what Rav Ashi really meant about the size of a certain sukkah. The other guy says to you, look at you yourself, you're wasting your time with things that are completely meaningless.
The Koreans don't think so.
That's a raya. All right, guys, have a good day.